beating up on these whack teams. Beating up on these whack teams. I need my superhero theme music because we 3-0.
Yeah, you know who it is. It's your boy, DJ on the corner of County and where we at? And this is hashtag Celtics Nation. CJ and Resto.
Hey yo, it's CJ and Resto. CJ and Resto. Yeah, it's CJ and Resto. CJ and Resto. He said it's CJ and Resto. Who? CJ and Resto. Hey yo, it's CJ and Resto. Hey yo, it's CJ and Resto. Yo, CJ and Resto. Hey yo, it's CJ and Resto. He said it's CJ and Resto. Who? CJ and Resto.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of hashtag Celtics Nation presents CJ and Resto. I am him, the one and only Hendrik Hernandez Resto, the dynamic duo's one half. You know who it is. What it do, Celtics fan? We starting off the season on an extra beautiful note, aren't we? 3-0, and that's a great thing because it's better than 0-3 or better than 1-2 or better than 2-1. The Celtics beat the Washington Wizards tonight, 126-107, down in Washington or wherever it is that these guys play. I'd like to welcome you to episode Quattro of the season. Yes, I know it's only 3 games, but we interviewed Ann Horford for episode 1, if you didn't know. So here we are on episode 4, and it's 3 wins in a row, and we're starting the season off fantastic. And I got to be honest, if you look at our episodes from last year, we started on April 1st from last season. The Celtics won a whole bunch of games. There was very few losses in between there that we had to deal with, and we're continuing the tradition that if CJ and Resto are around, the Celtics are going to win. I'm just saying. So once again, the Celtics beat the Wizards 126-107. Did you expect anything less? This game was over in the first quarter. Yo, we got that hat, Brian. Let them know. We had this game sewn up in the first quarter. It wasn't even a competition. Last year, I bought tickets to a game, and the cheapest tickets that I can find was against the worst team. And yes, it was against the Wizards. And Porzingis and Bradley were there, but Bradley, I don't think, played, and I don't think Porzingis played either. Same thing. Jaylen Brown went off. He doesn't like them for some reason. I don't know what's going on over there. But yeah, we thrashed on them, and the game was over in the first quarter. The lead was 26-9. It looked like 2K. It looked like when you're playing against your nephew. It was not even funny. So I'm going to check some of these stats out right here. Listen, again, don't be surprised at these numbers. These are gaudy numbers. So Jason Tatum was 14 of 21 or 4 and 9 from 3. He had 1 free throw. That's not because he wasn't being aggressive, but because the Wizards play no defense. There's a difference between no defense and bad defense. Bad defense, you foul. No defense, you don't. So that's what the Wizards play. Skipping over to the rebounds, he had a total of 6 rebounds, all defensive, 3 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 2 turnovers, 2 fouls. Not bad. Plus minus a 27. That's amazing. 33 points on the night. Porzingis had 15 with a plus 30. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and 2 turnovers. He kept those fouls down finally. He only had 2 tonight. It's been a trend that we've been watching out for. Jrue Holiday had 11 points with 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. That's pretty damn good. And a plus minus of 28. Porzingis' plus minus was 30. Jaylen Brown, my Lord, 36 points on a plus minus of 32 with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block. And dad strength, Derek White, the president of the Bald-Headed Bearded Man's Association, and I would know because I'm one of them. He only had 5 points tonight, but his plus minus was 27. Was plus 27.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous. Like that's positively affecting the game. He had 8 assists. He had 1 rebound. He had 2 steals and a block, 2 turnovers. Not bad with 1 foul. The bench was despicable. Yes, let's celebrate the good things, right? Let's celebrate the great things that this team did. Juice dominates the Wizards every single time. I was there last year. I got into the game late, and I can tell you right now that as soon as you walked into the building, you can tell something special was happening because Jaylen Brown was going off. You can just sense the atmosphere. And we sat down, 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and Jaylen Brown was cooking them. So I am not surprised. Jonathan, what you talk about? It felt like it was more rebounds. The Jays come to kill tonight. Yeah, yes, it looked like they was reminded me of old Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker days. I mean, some of y'all are too young for all that. You know what I'm saying? So I know you don't know. Brenda, absolutely right. JB went off tonight, but it reminded me of Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker back in the early 2000s when they would both kind of have a scoring competition on the floor at the game, during the game, on TV. Shannon, you're not lying. The bench is a little suspect, but we seem to be top heavy enough that the bench doesn't need to come in and drop 30 for us to win a game. Um, but it does. Yeah, the bench is absolutely out here. Brenda, you're absolutely right. The bench is out here making us swing at stuff, and uh, they're dangerous. They're bad for our mental health because this team is being fantastic, and we don't need this toxicity from these fans, from this bench. We absolutely the thoughts tonight against the Wiz is very simple. We're supposed to beat teams like this. This is what a great team looks like, guys. Welcome to the spoiled fans fan club. I don't know what to tell you. This is what a good team looks like mid-season, though. They look like this mid-season. To look like this in game 3, it's a bad team that we didn't just pull up. I do not understand what you're saying, Fabio. I will get a Google translator and we can talk about it. But for this team to pull up like this on the Wiz and just do work 3 games in, take them seriously and beat them up, that says something. Bump the microphone, but yeah, sheesh. The player of the game today, the God Almighty, the biggest contract of all time, JB, very clearly. Let me give you these stats again. Let me switch over my stats for Jaylen Brown tonight. 32 plus or minus. So the plus minus was 32 positive. 36 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block. The man was out here doing work, but the Wizards don't have anybody worth mentioning in the sense of they can step up to guard him. With that said, we still took them seriously enough tonight that we blew them out. It's what you're supposed to do. We could have very easily, we Celtics fans, we've been here before where we see the Celtics play with their food. You see the change? Because it's very clear. They're not playing around right now. It looks like some people are tired. Um, yeah, Brian, you're not lying. Brian, you ain't lying, Lord. Jaylen Brown, without a doubt, was the player of the game. Jonathan, thank you for agreeing. Beautiful last name. Love that last name. It's spelled differently than Paul's, but it still sounds the same. Jaylen Brown and this team do not look like. Shout out Gallo though, for real. Shout out Gallo and Moose because they was awesome when they were here for the fans. Gallo follows the page. If you didn't know, Danilo Gallinari follows hashtag Celtics Nation. So if you follow hashtag Celtics Nation, you're also following the page that Danilo Gallinari is following. I'm just saying. And I don't think he's taking his fandom away. If I'm correct, Lord, correct me, but he's still a fan of the page. So shout out Moose too, because Moose was super cool while he was here. We made some great memes of the man, and we absolutely love him. The big 3 did the heavy lifting like they should be doing. But this team's like a big 6. Like you never know who's really gonna pull up and get 30 on them. They look great. They're mid-season form, and it's something to behold. When they come up against great teams, I wonder what it's gonna look like. We did handle business against the Heat. The Knicks are an okay team. I wonder when you know what we're all waiting for, right? Yeah, so much for Danilo Gallinari's revenge game. What was that? You ain't getting. Bro, listen right now. Danilo Gallinari is a stud of a player, but the Wizards are not that type of team. They're not going to pull up on us and do work unless we fall asleep on the wheel. We have way too many players, and also we have way too many big contracts. It would look silly. They price those games accordingly because that team's not great. Brenda, what is it that you're saying here? Did you see the faces of our starters at the end of the fourth quarter? LOL, they were aggravated big time because these dudes was trying to get them ankles and them knees iced up, and they was about to have to go into the game. Man, They was about to go into the game and have to play in the fourth quarter. And yeah, whoa, bench, what was you doing? It's not their fault. It's not completely their fault. Now, when the season started, who here said that that bench was going to be balling? Because it wasn't me. I didn't say that. Bench was probably going to be solid, but it wasn't going to be great. And they would have to play great to be solid. So we all saw that when we didn't sign any notable people to come off the bench, and we lost Grant Williams and we lost Malcolm Brogdon, and then D White's in the starting lineup. So it kind of just it kind of just you got to give a little to take a little bit, right? You got to take a little bit to give a little bit. And I don't really know what the answer is there unless we're gonna make some trades before the trade deadline, because that's the only answer is if we get some different talent on here. But I don't know. I don't know where or how that's gonna happen, and I don't have anybody on my radar to trade with either. This team looks great, and it looks like the players that are going to be playing during the playoffs are going to be getting heavy minutes during the regular season as well. So we assume that let's just assume that we're riding out with this team right here. Um, I'm trying to think of another team's bench that I really got to worry about. I do think that Joe in the playoffs is not going to run Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard. He's not going to run the bench past those guys. O'Shea Brissett might get some time, but Horford, Hauser, Pritchard are the only people. ASAP, Lukey, they're going to get burned. That's it. Nobody else is going to get burned. And those guys are still going to get limited burn because this team is top heavy, and they're top heavy the way that you want them to be. He was on the bench the whole season. Why they kept saying, Brian, I'm not sure. But I mean, playing against a team that traded you is always a revenge game. Everybody always says that. D White and Drew Holiday defensively are exactly who we thought they would be, and their impact is exactly as we thought that it would be. If neither one of them are going for lead scorer during the game, they're regardless if they're doing that or not, they're going to impact defensively because it's something that they've been doing their entire career. They both had blocks this game. I think they both had more blocks than Porzingis did. I think they each had 2. Let me switch back. 2 blocks. No, one person had 2 blocks. It was Drew Holiday, but 4 players had blocks in that starting lineup, and it was Porzingis, Drew Holiday, D White, and Jaylen Brown. Sam Hauser had a block apparently, so yay for that, and that was it for the rest of the players on this team. But Dad Strength and Drew Holiday have a competition for most blocks by the end of the season. And who do I have? Dad Strength. The length matters, bro. The length matters. But then again, look, tonight, the dude who had 2 was Drew. They seem the timing and the excellence that goes into getting blocks is sick. And for 2 dudes to be running a competition during the season shows you their competitive nature, their confidence, and how much they're expecting to enjoy the season. They seem to be enjoying their time here in Boston. And Drew Holiday, who's only been here several weeks, seems to be enjoying his time on this team and with this organization enough to agree to a competition, a friendly competition, if anything, with Drew Holiday. I mean, with D White that's amazing. This team seems to be coming together so early. Oh my God. They seem to be coming together so well. I heard Dame Time had a bad game a couple last night or the night before, and they lost. He only had 6 points. I've never seen such a thing from Damian Lillard. Like, what the heck was that? And they were comparing that to Drew Holiday's first start. I'm sorry. The Wizards are trash. And this game was just I needed a pregame nap, and I didn't take it. King C's has the key to that. King C's has the key to that. He's always out here freaking taking pregame naps, and I want to take one, and I don't take one. Al Horford coming off the bench has been for the Celtics. If you remember last year, the second best shooter percentage-wise from 3 was Al Horford behind Steph Curry. The dude was basically Steph Curry last year, and I don't see I don't see in the playoffs last year, he disappeared for quite a while with those 3-point shots, and I don't see that situation necessarily changing so far this season. And I love him, man. I have a lot of love for Al Horford. I got an Al Horford jersey. I rock it very often. With that said, if we're gonna be honest, and I'm being honest, he's been so off the bench. I don't know that he feels comfortable coming off the bench. It's an adjustment, and we'll see how it goes. And Jonathan, what you saying? I don't know. Some of the reasons, for some reason, my gut is saying, give this one to Dad Strength. Oh, for like player of the game. Oh no, the blocks. Oh, for the blocks. Yeah, I'm saying Dad Strength too. I'm just going with the length. Listen, I got some okay blocks in my day, but people who have more length than me got way more blocks. It's just the way the mathematics worked out. They seem to be a fantastic a fantastic compliment to each other, Derek White and Drew Holiday, and they seem to have a level playing field. Obviously, Drew Holiday is playing guys more his height. Derek White's playing guys of all sorts of heights. So we'll see how that works out. A healthy Celtics team can accomplish. So what the healthy Celtics team can accomplish is they're going to need to stay healthy to accomplish it. They have nothing less than a championship expectation. And to say anything different is weird and untrue for any sports team here in Boston, but specifically a team that stacked. The healthy Celtics team can accomplish a championship, but for them to accomplish a championship to win it, they're going to have to stay healthy. It doesn't happen any other way. I don't know that one player of that top six outside of Al Horford can go down and we can just plug somebody in and make it work. Al Horford coming off the bench still needs some work, but tonight he put in a hell of an effort. Loved what I saw from him. Al Horford always gives 110% in positionally. His defense is always great. The 3-pointers is where we were like really counting on him to stretch the floor, but it's not necessarily connecting right now. So I don't know, other than leadership and for defensive guidance in that second unit, I don't know where I see him being effective right now. So it's a you know it's a wait and see for Al Horford. Y'all know I love him. I love him just as much as I love any other Celtic on this team. He's been here. He's one of the longest tenured Celtics. He had his break in between, but I love him. Um, a healthy Celtics team can conquer the league for many years to come. Hey, see, that's not even what I'm thinking about. I'm not even thinking about like what can happen going forward. I'm thinking singularly this season they can win the championship. And then after that, they got to restructure some contracts. Because right now, they don't have the room to keep growing. And I wonder if Brad Stevens has the same sentiment as a GM that Danny Ainge had, where he'll trade players before they get old and not have any more value. He'll want to restart the life cycle on the Celtics at a certain pace, or does he hang on to? I'm sorry, the Wizards really got me tired of this ish, man. Um, does Brad Stevens end up hanging on to the players that he pretty much raised? You know, um, Danny had a different idea. Danny was get rid of them when they get past the point of service that he feels like they were serviceable to him. Just in between before they get too old and you can't get any more value for them. Right there. Trade them and get some draft picks and flip it and start rebuilding the team in a fast way. So what's my take on Drew and Kristaps? They fit like a glove. Hey, who's gonna complain about 3-0? I'm not. They fit like a glove. Um, they saw that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were cooking today and didn't start inadvertently launching some random threes. We had some players on this team that could do that. If you remember, some of the guys on this team used to do that very well. Um, see them boys cooking or see anybody cooking and just start launching threes themselves too to get in. It was like, oh yeah, all three of us can score 9. Sorry to say it, but it's the truth. And we are seems like we're free of that. Seems like we're absolutely free of that for right now. We have everybody understands their role. Everybody understands what they're looking to do and what they need to do. And it doesn't seem like anybody's really letting their ego take over. We had two dudes going off tonight. Them two boys was putting in work. We hope that you see that in big games like the finals? Are you hoping you see that in the playoffs where they're both going off simultaneously? Will we see it? It's yet to be seen. They didn't often go off at the same time, but this is beautiful to see. Uh, you know, we have a great team. We're nitpicking. I'm nitpicking. BT Dubs, what up to the Jaylen Brown naysayers and ish talkers? What's really good tonight? What's really good tonight? What happened? Where y'all at? Yo, all that criticism was trash. Basura. Listen, y'all need to stop with that. Y'all need to stop with that. Game one, y'all was criticizing the man. Let him be. Let him be. I hope he pulls up your Twitters if he's ever donating to something. You go to get a grant and Jaylen Brown is funding. That's all I'm saying. I hope he pulls up your Twitter. Funny people. It was a great game, but it wasn't because it was a blowout and we blew them out. And those games were so boring, and I had to yawn twice. I ain't never yawn on air ever. That's twice tonight. I had to do it. That's how bad the Wizards are. The Wizards are trash. Basura. Listen, man. I absolutely love doing this, and I'm happy to do it. But the Celtics, y'all making it an easy job for me, man. Yet another win, 126-107. The Boston Celtics beat the Washington Wizards down in Washington. The game high score was our homie Jaylen Brown with 36, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, a block. The man was out here. The team was doing fantastic. We look great. We don't have really much to complain about, guys. Let's take it for what it is. Shout out to Melissa, to Megan, to Denisha, to Jonathan, to Tony, to Vivian, and to all the rest of our viewers. We love you guys. If you're not subscribed to the pages, go right ahead and subscribe to them, because you know that it benefits us, but then it benefits you because we bring y'all some exclusive content. We had Anna Horford on here. We got some more people coming. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say nothing else. I'm just gonna say we got some people coming. Shout out to the pages. Go follow hashtag Celtics Nation on Facebook, on Instagram, on everything. Just go find it. Hashtag Celtics Nation. You can find us. Like, subscribe, comment, share, send stars, watch the videos, and comment on that so that we can get back into the algorithm. We already dominating the algorithm. We know what we got to say, but contribute to that so that we can contribute back to the community, contribute back to you guys, bringing you exclusive content, up in the ante with what we do and how we do it. I want to shout out, what up, Jessica? Yeah, 3-0. That's how we do. I want to shout out my homie CJ. Love you, dog. I want to shout out the homie Bristol County Castro, and Ian Morgan, Matt De Silva, Tyrone Gerard, Damian DePease, Emilio Torrado. Love you all, man. Shout out King C's. He's the king of all this. This is how we function. He's the man behind the scenes, pressing the button, doing the Kawhi laugh, which is my favorite fucking laugh of all time, bro. It's it's just the best. It's my favorite. Shout out my wife who takes care of the babies while I do this, because without her I couldn't do nothing. Shout out all the homies down here in New Bedford, because that's where I be at. The ciphers are over for the year, but we're bringing them back at some point. They always got to come back. People want it to come back. We'll see how we make that happen. I hope I'm not missing anybody or forgetting anybody, but if I do, jump in there, drop a comment, keep connecting with us, send stars, because the stars allow us to do more. Hit the Cash App, because the Cash App allows us to do more. Like, we throw all this money right back into the page, into merchandise, into as much as we can to bring it right back to you. We appreciate you and we love you. Once again, the Boston Celtics beat the Washington Wizards 126-107 tonight in Washington. Jaylen Brown with 36. If I'm correct, am I correct? Was the homie on 36? Yeah, 36. He was plus 32. That's what was confusing me. 36 tonight for Jaylen Brown, who dominate a garbage team. A garbage team.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. Let's get
some
people going.
Trash means trash. Basura. Hey yo. Good night. Be safe. Love y'all, man. Hendrik Hernandez, Resto, signing off. CJ and Resto, hashtag Celtics Nation, man. Hit us up. We love you.
Yeah, you know who it is. It's your boy, DJ on the corner of County and where we at? And this is hashtag Celtics Nation. CJ and Resto.
Hey yo, CJ and Resto. CJ and Resto. Yeah, it's CJ and Resto. CJ and Resto. He said it's CJ and Resto. Who? CJ and Resto. Hey yo, it's CJ and Resto. Hey yo, it's CJ and Resto. Yo.